So I wanted to talk about prepaid PPAs or prepaid lease options, which you're going to see a lot more of them coming out because that's kind of becoming the new thing in the solar industry. The reason they've came into the market is because of the fact that the federal tax credit of 30% for residential homeowners went away with the big beautiful bill. So solar and finance companies are now trying to look for ways to still give homeowners some sort of federal incentive for purchasing their system. And even though the individual federal tax credit went away for homeowners that own the system, commercial tax credits remained, which are actually more than the 30%, up to 40 to 50% depending on the area, when you factor in depreciation as well. So a PPA or a lease is a system that's owned by the finance company, so a commercial entity installing the system so they can claim those tax credits, and then in exchange, the homeowner pays an upfront cash price to prepay the PPA or the lease, which ends up being 30 to 40% less than the actual cash cost of the system if they were to own it. And most of these have worked into their paperwork that after 5 years or so, the system ownership is then transferred over to the homeowner. So what they get in exchange is a system that's discounted right off the bat, and then eventual ownership of the system, even though they don't own it for the first few years. Kind of a tax workaround is what they're doing. We actually have an option that's pretty cool that combines a loan with a prepaid energy service agreement, which is kind of like a PPA, where it's still a zero down option. The loan is prepaying that energy service agreement. After 5 years, ownership is automatically transferred over, and they're still just making payments. So it feels like they're just financing the system, though technically and legally, they don't own the system for those first 5 years. But what they're getting is 30 to 40% discount on the loan upfront. So it's actually a better option than existed before, where people had to finance the 100% of the project and then maybe get the full 30% tax credit back, but sometimes they didn't get the full amount back depending on their tax situation. So the solar industry is still trying its best to pass benefits and federal incentives over to homeowners the best that they can. And the good news is, through these creative finance options, homeowners are still getting federal incentives to help subsidize the cost of their system. And I'm not a tax professional, so there's some things I can't answer 100%, but if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or message me if you want to talk about these options more in detail or maybe see what it looks like for your home.